WPL lied that they will never release 110 RC.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, so this is the new WPL C74 that is officially licensed by Suzuki, and I'm sure many of you have already seen the video because this was launched since October 30. But in this video, I'm going to show you what you didn't know about C74 and what you should know. Also, the new Bay Blue version just released today. The C74 is a 110 scale of the 1995 Jimny JA11 and it's officially licensed by Suzuki. The wheelbase is around 192 to 195 mm. It has an axle mounted steering servo, which is first in WPL. On the undercarriage, you will find leaf spring instead of the multi-link as with other C series. So this is the first leaf spring chassis in the C series. You'll find this counter rotating output gearbox, which was introduced in the new C54 2023. And if you are observant enough, you will see on the C54 versus the C74, this one has an extra cover here. So according to Mr. Huang, there will be a counterweight introduced where you can put inside here to counter the weight of the motor over here, which is really crazy because how heavy is the motor? So I wonder if that makes a difference, and he said yes. The underbody you can see is highly detailed now. There are covers here to cover the wiring, so you don't see any wires. So basically like just black color down there, much more realistic. And you'll find a battery at the back now. To open the battery cover, you're gonna pull this tab and then use your nail to pull open the cover. I don't have a nail, so I'm gonna use a tool. You can easily open it. You'll find a battery inside and it's very spacious inside as compared to the D series, which is very tight. So you can put a bigger, thicker, wider battery in the battery compartment here. But I don't really recommend putting so much weight at the back because you should have more weight at the front rather than the back. Then about the leaf spring that I want you to know is that Huang chooses a thin version of a leaf spring because that will allow some articulation. Because he said he have tried to take one and it is just too hard, not allowing much articulation. But the disadvantage of using a thin leaf spring is that, which is over time and not even a long time, you'll see the leaf spring basically sag, become almost flattened. You can see it peek through from here. So what you're going to do is, to reset it, you're going to remove the screw from either end of the leaf spring. Remove the screw here and then turn this over and bend this on the other way around to reset it so that it will sit upright higher again. The front is fine because rear is much lower because the rear is quite like close to flatten, whereas the front is still fine. Probably due to the battery at the back, so there's more weight at the back. So just reseat your rear leaf spring and you should be on an equal right height, front and back. Now let's enjoy the body, the beautiful body. And it comes with this tiny accessory. The Suzuki decal, you have to stick it up yourself. You have to put on the side mirror and you'll find a Jimny badge here, which is pre-installed at the factory. And at the back, there's a pre-installed Jimny badge as well. Suzuki decal, you have to put it yourself, including this tail light decal. It will make it look much better than being plain without all this. There's also headlight. Okay, if I turn on the car now, you see it blinking. This is so nice. Steering angle, you'll find sufficient steering angle, but then at max angle, the wheels will be juddering, so you have to take note on that. And for those who didn't know, even though this is an RTR model, but Mr. Huang decided to give it a soft version of tires. So you're gonna glue it because it's so soft. This may deform or distort while we are using, and you have to reseat it every time. And I do see sponge inside as well. You can feel there's like subtleness in it instead of being way too soft. Body is just super detailed, realistic and beautiful. So this may just replace my favorite WPL for Go Anywhere, which is my C54 that I've transformed to a KM version. Now talking about scale, why is it 110 scale? Is because the actual Jimny is very small and very short. In fact, it's only a two-door car. Oh, let's say if we scale this down to 116, it will actually be even smaller than this C54 over here. Because C54 is quite large in real life, right? Then WPL has to redevelop the axles and the chassis, everything for the C74, which will not be compatible with the 116 version of the WPL. Make it 110, and it just so happened to be around the size of RC 116, so you can use back all this axle, similar track width that is on the WPL 116 as well. So that way you can keep the cost down and it's cost compatible, and you can use existing metal upgrades from the existing lineup of WPL upgrades as well. So you can see the wheelbase is the same, but the C74 is much bigger in the body size compared to the D62 because it's a 110. And for me, one of the reasons why this will become my new favorite is because it's big rather than being small. We all want something bigger, right? Just like our wife. And even though it's big and it's still affordable, WPL lied that they will never release 110 RC. So they did it with the D12 and then now the C74. So hopefully more 110 will come out because they look really cute, tiny, looks really good, and the body is big. And there are people who are facing a jarring issue with the axle or the drive shaft that was due to the out-phase drive shaft. It's already been identified and they are making changes to it. So if you have that issue, this one thanks to Liam Sullivan. One of the reasons that caused this is due to this screw here being over-tightened. You may try to loosen it a bit because it goes in parallel to the input shaft, but once you apply the screw onto it, it sort of makes it goes out of parallel, if you get what I mean. Like if the screw is pushing this cup here out of center. So you can try that. Otherwise, if that doesn't help, the last resort would be flipping the front and rear axle. And the reason why the axles are configured this way is to reduce this body twist. When you punch the throttle, it will do something like this. So currently with this configuration, that reduces the issue. Also another thing, because the angle are quite extreme, but once you put it upright, the drive shaft angle will be less, so the jarring issue will be less. So you can try that first. Now it comes to the upgrade. There are option 1 and option 2. So the option 1 would be a simple change of just to a metal drive shaft to remedy this axle or drive shaft jarring issue. The second one would be an all-out modification or upgrade. The option 1 would be changing this to the existing metal drive shaft that we have, which is the 4x4 metal drive shaft. That was all this while compatible for the C14, C74 and C54 generation of chassis, but somehow in the case of C74, despite it having the same wheelbase of the old C54, but this drive shaft is actually longer than the traditional 4x4 C series. So if you want to use a traditional 4x4 metal drive shaft from the official store, you're gonna need 2 of this 34mm inner drive shaft, and then you're gonna need to change your gearbox to the 2-speed version as well. Otherwise, without changing this gearbox, the drive shaft is still not gonna be long enough. But if you change your gearbox to a 2-speed gearbox, you're going to change your receiver to REST 3.3 as well, because the 2-speed gearbox pulls 7M, but the C74 receiver outputs at max 5M only. It will run, I've tried it, but it's not recommended, especially when you store the gearbox, when you store the motor, that will pull 7M and that may damage or burn your C74 receiver. Then the option 2 upgrade would be an all-out upgrade. You get the 4x4 metal upgrade packs, which include the metal axle, the metal drive shaft, and metal gears, and then you upgrade it with 2-speed gearbox. You're going to add 2 pieces of 34mm inner drive shaft and change your receiver to the REST 3.3 receiver, and also might as well adding wheel suede into your tires as well. This will give you the most performance for your C74 that's available now. And also because this has a rather large body, it's large and it's quite high. If you compare it to a C54, its body is smaller. So it's not surprising that this will roll over on an incline, especially there's a box at the back, so there's a little bit of weight there. I would recommend that you replace the foam insert inside and replace it with the metal wheel suede that we have in our store, so that you get a high performance C74.
Alright, so the road test, I'm not expecting huge performance out of it because this is less than $100 US. You get proportional steering, you rotate a bit, the steering moves a little bit, you get a proportional throttle control as well. There are dual rate on your radio for steering and your throttle. If you find this underpowered or there isn't much steering angle, you have to toggle this by a short press. Now you get more steering angle. I'm going to hold my steering max and toggle the low rate and high rate, and then you see the steering angle difference. So of course we all want high rate for both throttle and the steering. The servo and steering is finally smooth and quiet. What? There's no sound at all. Let's roll it. So I'm going to go slow and try the low throttle modulation. It's not as good as REST 3.3, but this is RTR. Be aware of that. So I'm going to try to go as slow as possible. I'm going to drop. Actually, modulation is very nice. I think the receiver throttle programming helps, and also the larger motor, which is 370 rather than 180 or the 280, so that helps with low-end torque. I do think the throttle is actually very nice for being RTR. It's better than even the previous version of RTR. Woo! I think I drive really slowly. If I go full throttle, so that's the top speed, which you would expect. So it's actually much more refined in this new RTR. See, with lots of grip there from the soft higher version. Out of the box, this is actually very good. If we compare that to the previous RTR, and you see it just roll over easily. by dropping one side. Let's try to roll it over again. Yeah, so definitely gonna need metal wheel weight on all four wheels, and probably try to add some more weight as low to the body as possible. Putting more weight down on chassis rather than on the body. About the suspension, I think it does work as well, although this is not multi-link, not a shock absorber version of suspension. It's not too bad. So on a very low throttle, just to show it to you guys more clearly. That's especially when it's moving or turning. It sounds like a cat is asking for. You can hear that? No, that sounds like when the mouse is asking for food. There shouldn't be a problem going uphill as well. So effortlessly with the 370 motor. Oh, when it goes down, it looks like there's gear reduction because there's just so much of gear reduction for it to go off-roading or trailing. Just a nice amount of reduction. Low speed gearing for off-road. So definitely going to put a 2-speed gearbox there for different kind of driving. It's very smooth. Whoops! Purposely tried it. So let's try to induce rollover. Hey, it's not too bad. It's not rolling over. This is good. So you do have brake in this version. It's reverse, forward, brake. So it feels rather slow, but it's not underpowered. I have let go my throttle stick and it just slowly roll down. I want to try if I can modulate my brake, but it seems like it's just a max brake, on and off brake. There's no modulation on the brake. Let's try to make it move again. Brake a little bit, it just stop completely. So let's say we reverse. So the rollover issue is actually not that bad. Can we climb this straight wall? I don't think we can. Yeah, no. Ooh. Okay, I broke something. Okay. Oh, okay, this pops off when there's a stall. So I can just put this back. So it's back on now, it just popped off. And mine does not have axle juddering, it's fine. It's very smooth. So axle juddering seems like a small quantity of cases. So when you got yours, just try to align the facing as much as possible, as close as possible. Mine is like 90° off to each other for front and also the rear drive shaft. So in the previous video, the two-wheel drive D62 was having trouble getting over till the top due to traction. The D64 was able to go over because of the traction from the front. And this is also a four-wheel drive, so let's see if we can bring this over the peak. What? Oh, this is no good. You probably need a spare, an extra side mirror. Got slammed at the side so heavily. Oh no, my lovely C74. Oh, so this will need it. No. If we go slowly. So it's lacking power and... Wait, don't scratch my body, please. Damn you, gravity. So it's lacking speed. It's also lacking low center gravity because the D64 are much smaller, so lower center gravity as well. So definitely gonna need a metal wheel weight upgrade, the 2-speed gearbox, so for more torque to help it go over. We also need to add more weight at the front so that it doesn't roll over. Oh, by the way, I want to show it to you here that you can easily swap the white fender from dash 1 to the non-dash 1 by just pulling the fender from the bottom. It just comes out like that. And pull this one as well. You can see there's 2 tabs here. Lash these 2 tabs onto the cavity over here, and then you will just install like that. That
that easy. Now we are selling these fenders separately on our official store as well. You can check out the link in the description. Just going to do the same thing on the other side, and you have a D62 with a wider rear fender. And I think it looks nice, even though the front is the non-white fender. It's damn cool, man. The pack will also include the lens, but without the decal. But I think you have extra lens decal in your D62 or D64. So by the time you're watching this video, there should be a new batch available at the official store. So check out the link in the description. And there's also a blue version available, only a few knows. And it looks so good. So if you're interested, check out the link in the description. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye. Click the left thumbnail for latest video or smash the subscribe button on the middle of the screen. So I'll see you on the next video. Bye.